So these two triangles are similar. We can match up 5 and 20. We just multiply by 4. They want to know how much longer than segment EF is segment DE. So let's divide both of those by 4. This is 29 fourths and 21 fourths. So what's the difference? 8 fourths, which is just 2. The total side length here would be 6x. So this is going to be x over 6x, 3x over 6x, and 2x over 6x. The x's all cancel out, and this is 3 inches of height, this is 9 inches of height, and this is 6 inches of height, respectively. They want to know maximum height on the middle shelf, and that is 9 inches. They give us these 4 lengths, so we can find that there is a proportion, a 2-to-1 ratio. So I'm going to take 800 and multiply by 2 to get 1600 over here, which is the answer. This one would be 900. If AE and CD are parallel, then these are transversals that cross those, so the opposite interior angles are equal. And since these are vertical angles, these triangles are similar. So 10 matches up with 5, a 2-to-1 ratio. If you want to know what this part is, it's 8 divided by 2, and that's 4. Add 4 and 8 together, and you get CE, which is 12. If BD and AE are parallel, then these are transversals, and opposite interior angles are congruent. In this case, this one's going to be 90. And we can see that 6 times 3 is 18. And 8 times 3 is 24 for the total distance. So we can take 24 squared plus 18 squared is equal to c squared. If I square those and add them and take the square root, you get 30 for CE. So we have a center of a circle, and the measure of AOB is pi over a radians. So let's drop down this, which means we have root 3 and 1. So I can find the hypotenuse by taking root 3 squared plus 1 squared is equal to c squared. So 3 plus 1 is equal to c squared. C is equal to 2. And if I want to find this angle here, let's find it in degrees. I want to avoid that root 3 if I can. So the sine of this angle is going to be the opposite 1 over the hypotenuse 2. So I can just take the sine inverse of 1/2. If I'm in degree mode, I'll get 30. If I'm in radian mode, I'll get the decimal equivalent of pi over 6. And they want to know what is the value of A. And A is equal to 6. Because pi is like 180, so if we want to get to 30 degrees, we divide it by 6. The area of a certain right triangle is given by the equation 1/2 times the base times 2 times the base. So let's call this B and this 2B. And which one do you think is shorter, B or 2B? It's just B. You don't have to actually find the value or the hypotenuse. You just have to know that the hypotenuse is the longest, so out of these two, which one is shorter? Given in this problem are 2 corresponding angles, and they want to know what do we need to prove that the 2 triangles are congruent. If they are congruent, then all the sides are the same length and all the angles are the same. So we can use one of the triangle congruency shortcuts. Since we have 2 consecutive angles, I'm guessing we're going to need the side length in the middle. So we can use the shortcut angle side angle. So BC is equal to EF. There it is. We want to know that these 2 triangles are similar. So far we know that the vertical angles are the same, so we need to know one more angle. If DE is parallel to HG, then in fact that gives us both of these angles, because the opposite interior angles are going to be the same. So that one's good enough. If we know one of the side lengths is proportional, that's helpful, but all have to be proportional, which we don't necessarily know to be true. So the second one is sufficient, but the first one is not. So the seating portion has an area of 180. What is the value of x? So I can use the Pythagorean Theorem to figure out one of these. So that's 10 squared is equal to 8 squared plus blank squared. Well, this is going to be 6. That's a pretty common Pythagorean triple, which means this is going to be 6. So the whole width of the top is going to be 12. So 12 times x is going to equal to 180. If I divide both sides by 12, I get that x is equal to 15. If these two triangles are similar, the angles are all the same, and the side lengths are proportional. They tell us that angle A corresponds to angle D. So if they wanted the value of cosine F, it's going to be the same as cosine C. So cosine C is equal to 24 over 30, and these will match. You can reduce that by dividing the top and the bottom by 6, so you get 4 over 5.